و طالبا و داعش اینا رحم ندارم کسی رحم ندارم به خاطر که ما $10,000 پولم دادیم بعد از 3 روز که بچه ما گم بود دست بچه ما قطع شد پس نمیتونیم بریم اونا رحم چون ندارم.
In spite of the horrors inflicted on his family back in Afghanistan, Hossein Rezai should be one of Germany's refugee success stories. With the help of his social worker, he's managed to get a good job. His wife, Mojgan, is learning German, and his children are all doing well in the local kindergarten. But all that masks a grim reality. Soon they may all have to leave Germany. Last year, Hussein's asylum request was rejected. The authorities say his hometown is safe. So he, Mojgan, and their 3 young children now face deportation back to Afghanistan. And it's all down to the German government's shifting policies on asylum. 2 years ago, Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel was hailed as a hero when she threw open the country's borders to hundreds and thousands of refugees. But in the ensuing months, public disquiet at the refugee influx grew. And so, with national elections on the horizon, the government toughened its policies on migrants. Speaking in May, the Chancellor defended the changes.
Und dieses Dilemma auszuhalten und hier eine richtige Entscheidung zu treffen, das kann ich für mich nur so auflösen, dass ich sage, wir müssen jetzt schnell die Entscheidung treffen. Wir dürfen die Menschen, die keine Erlaubnis haben, hier zu sein, nicht erst in die Gemeinden schicken und mit Ehrenamtlern so viel Arbeit dort investieren und dann schneller nach Hause schicken. Das ist die bessere Variante.
While Hussein and his family have found themselves caught up in the politics, most of the refugees who came here in 2015 and 16 have been given asylum. Of the 1.5 million people who have arrived in Germany since the start of 2014, more than half, 800,000, have been allowed to stay. Those whose requests for asylum were rejected can appeal, and they're often successful. Ms. Merkel's critics argue that Germany's refugee influx has been a disaster, that most of the newcomers will end up unemployed and reliant on welfare handouts. But authorities reject that.
Wir haben gleichzeitig auch diese Möglichkeit, schneller in den Arbeitsmarkt hineinzukommen. Es ist ganz, ganz wichtig, dass wir immer wieder sagen, gebt ihnen die Chance, sofort Deutsch zu lernen, sofort reinzukommen. Wir haben jetzt mehrere hundert ja auch in der Ausbildung mittlerweile und da verstärken wir jetzt unsere Bemühungen.
Few people better illustrate successful assimilation than Abdulaziz Diab. Only 2 years after arriving here from Syria, he's studying mechatronics at the leading Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. Alongside his studies, he's also become involved in a local amateur dramatics group.
Behind me, Abdulaziz Diab is rehearsing in a play that will be performed in Karlsruhe later this year. It's a sign of just how well he's integrated into German society. When I first met him about 1.5 years ago, he'd only recently arrived in Germany. He'd crossed the Aegean Sea in a rubber dinghy, fearing for his life. Now he not only speaks fluent German, but he's enrolled in one of Germany's top universities.
It's a far cry from the life he was living back in Syria.
I was really, I would say, depressed because I didn't have anything to do. There was no opportunities at all, like there was no electricity, no water, nothing to do. And you know that you don't have a future. You lose every single hope you had. I just used to sleep all day, wake up all night, go to the roof and do nothing, just literally nothing. Yeah, I'm really glad that I made it here now. I can just live like a normal person.
In some ways, Hossein Rezai is also a good example of integration. He has at least found work, and his boss says he'd like to employ more like him.
Ich denke, das ist eine riesige Chance für unser Land. Ja? Wir haben ja Arbeitskräftemangel, zunehmend mehr. Es ist eine gute Chance, auch mitunter junge Leute in handwerkliche Berufe einzuarbeiten. Ich sehe das einfach als ein sehr großes Kapital, was uns da geschenkt wird. Ja?
But in Hussein's case, politics continues to trump economics, and his future in Germany hangs by a thread. NGOs are calling on the government to rethink its policy on deportation and to stop letting short-term political gain overshadow the desperate needs of some of these refugees.
Wir als Diakonie Deutschland kritisieren, dass bei dieser Schnelligkeit zum einen die Sorgfalt der Prüfung der Asylgründe nicht ausreichend und gut genug erfolgt. Das heißt, wir befürchten, dass Menschen auch wieder zurück und ausgewiesen werden, die eigentlich einen Anspruch auf Asyl hier bei uns hätten.
Germany is pressing ahead with the historic job of integrating its hundreds and thousands of refugees, a task which will dominate the political agenda for decades. The lucky ones are busy rebuilding their lives in their new homeland. The unlucky ones are still waiting to learn their ultimate fate.